Today we're going to review my thoughts on the competition. I'm going to answer some questions on some just I had about it, and then probably talk about the future of my training, this next training cycle, goals, hopes, dreams, etc., etc. And I'm snatching and clean and pressing today. I'm going to keep it light. Honestly, I was pretty beat up after that competition. You know, massive amygdala maxing and just screaming, and so trying to let the body recover a little bit today. I would be shocked if I got above 245 on block powers, but I'm going to be doing doubles, so we'll see. So one thing I'm really excited about is I'm going to have some cool collaborations this next month, the month of February, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm going to get to train with some people I've kind of been aware of for a long time. And yeah, I'm not going to say too much right now just because it's kind of more fun if it's a surprise. I'm not doing any plyos today, in part because I don't want to wipe myself out. But I'm very excited to do more block work. Blocks just seem kind of be the spice of life. Something about it just feels so good. If you have knee problems or back problems, block powers are, in my opinion, hands down the best variation of Olympic lifts to use. And they're just fun. They're incredibly fun. That's the only reason why you need to do them, to be honest with you. It's been a while. Oh yeah. I did mildly tweak my knee, my left one. That's the one I've had issues with the past year. And so that's a big reason why I'm doing blocks. And plus, I feel like blocks transfer better into my goals, what I'm trying to do, training-wise. I'm focusing, shifting, if the last 5 weeks was about Olympic lifting. Prior to that, I was actually trying to improve athleticism, specifically jumping, broad jumping, but I had to take a shift with the comp coming up. Now I'm getting back to that. The ultimate ultra moist fascia protocol. That's what this is going to be called. And I'm considering doing some sort of subscription thing where people can follow along like a week after I do it. And yeah, they can pay like a monthly fee and they'll get access to it. Or if they don't want to do that, they can just do it after I've ran it and just pay a price up front. That will probably be more expensive than the monthly thing, in my personal opinion. Oh, man. Yeah, knee feels okay. Just feels kind of mid. Common question I received was, Sensei, why did you power all your openers? Well, it's really simple, because I can. Why? There's no extra credit, no extra grade, not even style points by squatting fully under a snatch or a clean that I can power. Nobody cares. Ultimately, it's weightlifting. Lift the daggum weight in the most efficient way possible. So, to me, it just seems like the sensible thing to do the thing I know and am very confident in, as opposed to just using, I feel like, extra energy on a full snatch or full clean. So that is the primary reason why I knew I could, so I did. Also, when I train power cleans and just like snatches and full cleans, when I power clean and I do regular cleans, I try to pull the bar the same way. So I know some people like pull it a little bit differently. I try to pull the bar the same way. And because of that, there are times when I will be doing like full cleans, but I find myself power cleaning it because like the same intent is always there. So if you're competing, the goal is to win the thing. You get no points for touching your butt to the ground in your snatch. Feels pretty good, pretty snappy. Honestly, I am super satisfied with how the competition went. I knew the goal was to total 300 kilos. I did that. And I knew that if I hit my third snatch, which it was going to be like 136 or 7, I knew I was going to try to get that 300 total on the first clean and jerk. And also something that I'm keenly aware of is my Olympic lifting conditioning is not good right now. You can't build up a lot of conditioning leading up to a competition if you decide to do the comp 5 weeks or 4.5 weeks before. So I knew I wasn't going to do that. So I was like, I'm going to focus on what I know I can do consistently. So all my openers, I knew I had like an 85 to 90% chance of making it. And then from there, I kind of went down to 70, 75. And then from there, it was kind of like a 55. And I hit it. That 301 pound snatch was awesome. Heavy, one of my heaviest snatches of the year. So it felt pretty good that it came out clutch like that. I'll probably keep it at this weight just because body's still not feeling like I should push it. I'm trying to be a wise boy for one. Right, another set. It's flying. Also, just kind of wanted to keep this week a little low intensity. It's not like a true deload, but kind of deload-ish. Felt like I earned it a little bit. But if I get antsy, I'm always a dog. I'd be down to push some weight, but we'll see. I don't feel that urge after the last weekend like I normally do. Ugh, come on. I think a common thing that I observe with people who just compete in general, if you're in a competition, unless you're doing chess or something like that, if you're doing a strength competition, something that is like violent in some sort of physical way, whether it be towards a barbell or another person, you do not want to put yourself in a position where you are thinking a whole lot, all right? So there was a guy at this meet, and he missed his opener snatch twice. And he came out, and I hadn't even started warming up yet, so I hadn't like activated my fight mode, you know what I'm saying? And he was clearly frustrated, and he came over and he's like, "Are you seeing anything?" I was like, and I just said, "Dude, you need to stop thinking, and you just need to attack. That's it. That's the cue. When you're competing, the cue is attack, and that's it. The magic, let the reps take over from there." One of the reasons why you need somebody to count for you or coach you is specifically so you do not have to go back and forth between critical thinking, reasoning, like, oh, I have 10 lifts before mine, so that gives me 20 minutes or something like that. You don't want to be doing that. You want to be focusing solely on the weight. So I'm not doing any critical thinking. I'm not doing math. And I had a buddy who was from my club back in Minnesota growing up, and he was able to come, and it was so helpful. And I asked him over and over again, how many lifts, how many minutes? Because I just wasn't remembering. I was trying to stay in that fight mode. That to me is essential to a good competition. I would not have totaled 300 if he wouldn't have been there counting for me. So honestly, if you're thinking about competing in any sort of strength sport, powerlifting has similar format. I don't know about strongman, but like you don't want to be in critical thinking mode. You want to be up in your amygdala. You want to be ready to fight. And I think that's honestly the key to success in performance. It's automatic at that point. In your amygdala, it's all instinct. It's survival instinct. Oh, good. We're going to move on to power cleans and push press. We're going to just feel how this thing feels. Nice. Another aspect of being all up in your amygdala and in your fight state is, like Bruce Lee is like, become like water, flow, Water does not think the shape that it takes on. It just does it. And that's the whole point. It's like you enter into a flow state. And if your counter and your coach is good, they enter in that with you and they help you just manage exactly what you need to do. They don't give you too much. They don't give you too little. They're just very present with you. It's a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie. People have asked if the ginger is a gimmick. So when I first started doing ginger, some guy commented, oh, you gotta try ginger. It was on a video. I was like, oh, okay. So I did it as a gimmick. But the more I did it, I realized that it put me into that state of fight, right? Dude, it's so hot, it's so spicy, your nose is running, it hurts so bad. I'm not doing that directly before big lifts, but if I'm feeling lethargic coming into a session, and then I do that, I feel like now, especially that I've been doing it for over a year, it like tells my body, oh no, it's go time. We're picking up some big weight today. So it is not a gimmick, and I do believe it works. I chew it, and then once it gets pulpy, I pack it into my lip like it's a chew or dip or something, and I think it works. It's not just a gimmick. Just make this one fast and powerful. Just do a single. Can't complain about that. Come on, baby. Woo! I don't know how many I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna go until I can't do anymore. Oh, my Lanta. Well, I went about as well as I anticipated. I'm a never dying optimist, so I thought I would do more. But I'm going to move on to some quad extension holds for my knee, and I'll call it. Okay, this is easily my favorite isometric, and dang, I am feeling it. I'm feeling the pump of the isometric directly in the area of my knee that has been bothering me. So hopefully this will improve it. I found the value of isometrics last spring after I initially jacked up my meniscus. I found that doing isometrics allowed me to retain a lot of strength without doing the things that bothered my knee. So I hang cleaned 390 last spring, and I was doing almost no squatting at the time. I was just pushing isometrics very hard. This was one of them. This one I don't think will drive strength preservation as much as some other ones. The main one that I was doing that I think really helped the most was essentially a wall squat with the barbell underneath me, and I would hold that for as long. So some days I'd do like 405, but I was trying to hold it for a minute. Then other days, I think one day I got 600 for 10 seconds. So, but it just felt helpful. Didn't inflame my knee. It actually made it feel a lot better. And yeah, I was able to preserve a lot of that strength. So right now I'm doing 30 seconds on one leg, 30 seconds on the other. I'm going to do it 4 rounds total of 2 accumulated minutes. I love this attachment to my bench. Got this bench off of Facebook Marketplace for dirt cheap with a very cheap rack. I got rid of the rack because I upgraded, but I also got a barbell. It was a bad barbell, but it worked. And I got my iron plates. And that's honestly my big piece of advice is people think too much about getting the nice stuff right away. Just save some money, get the cheap stuff. Then if you suck at sticking to your guns and you can't keep working out at home, then at least you haven't like put yourself in the hole for like $2 or $3 grand. I'm sorry if that came off harsh. I'm just starting to get into the burn a little bit. I don't really have a lot else to say. Have a God blessed day. Thanks for watching. Beefcake Sensei out.